Hello, everybody. This is Marcel with the Sports Inquirer, and we're joined once again by Georgia Tech head coach for volleyball, Michelle Collier. Michelle, thank you for joining us. You split your trip to Florida, a lot of action over those two contests. Before we get to specifics, overall impressions of how the team did facing that competition in those environments.
Yeah, no, I think a big challenge for us. We knew that heading down there. I mean, two great teams. I think that um, Miami played us really well and really exposed some things that we didn't do at a level that we needed to do it. Um, but I was really proud of how we just finished the weekend. With the type of just gut check win there at Florida State. What we did is not easy to do. Um, and I feel like we learned a lot about ourselves and just growing as a team and as competitors, and looking forward to a great week of practice here now leading into to Louisville.
Yeah, before we get to that Florida State match, which was very intense, the Miami contest, you won the first set, but then dropped the final three. What were they doing well, or what were you struggling at on the court to, you think, lead to that result?
Yeah, I think that we didn't serve them as aggressive as we would like, and so I felt like they were comfortable offensively. Obviously, they had a player that was at a good night, and we just didn't do a good job of slowing her down. Um, and then just kind of made a few errors at the end of sets there. I mean, all these sets were pretty close, and there are a few errors that we don't usually make at the end of sets that just, I think that our mindset was a little shaky down there, and we weren't focused as in a way that we needed to execute um, for whatever reason. So we just, I think that we learned from it, but great match from Miami, good opponent, a tough environment to play in. And we just couldn't, at the end of sets there, we just couldn't pull it out.
Yeah, well, highlight was that Breland and Tamara each had at least four blocks in the match. Just what about defensively? Was that positive? You kind of took away from the contest that you saw you had some active blocking that carried over into the Florida State match and obviously helped you get a victory there.
Yeah, I think I was proud of the fight. I think we kept trying to find ways to make it better and to make plays and to execute at crucial times. So I think that was always there. I think that again, just I feel like our focus wasn't as where we needed to be. And we talk about it as a team. We reevaluate it as a staff too, and it's just a tough match. It was a tough match. It was a tough play. I think that they put some pressure on us, and we didn't respond as well as we needed to. But it's part of the process, and just happy that we were able to work it out and be ready for the next match.
And that next match was at Florida State. You dropped the first two sets, 25-14 and then 25-21. What do you say in the huddle at that stage? That was five consecutive sets lost over two matches. Uh, did you yell at them, or did you try to go with a calmer approach? What was said between that second and third set that really kind of led to the turnaround for the team?
We needed to wake up. We were just very passive, very outside of our normal, I think, competitor personality and mentality. We were accepting the pressure from our opponents, and we weren't pushing back the way that we needed to push back. And so the challenge was to just say, "You guys, let's go do it for each other. Let's put some heart into this, and let's face the challenge." I mean, I think that embrace it, don't let it paralyze you, and just fight back. And I think that they applied it. They obviously, I think Julia stepped up as a big leader in that match for us, and I think that everybody, after that, kind of it trickled down to everybody else, and everybody started to make plays, and they started to, just have a bigger presence, a bigger want to execute, and we just, I think we just played with a lot more heart and intent into what we were doing, and we were able to see the difference. So I think that this was a big learning, I think, moment for us as a team, and for each player individually, to understand that this is the way we need to approach competition at this level at all times. So
Yeah, and even in that fourth set, I think they scored the Seminoles 10 consecutive points.
yeah.
But yeah, but just elaborate more on that because it wasn't just you swept the last three sets easily. It was still very competitive throughout. We'll get to Julia in a moment because she had a record-setting performance. What were some other players that you thought were really crucial for the team in those final three sets, and especially that fourth set when they made a run?
Yeah, no, I think everybody started to make plays. You know, our middles were touching balls in our block. I think that our defense was touching more balls. Um, I thought Leah and Nicole, when they came in, they were able to help us out of situations and make plays as well. So I think that everybody just really kept trying, you know, trying hard to make a play and to kind of help the team. And I think it was a collective effort to get us out of that one rotation that we really get stuck on. I think they scored like 10 points in a row.
Mhm.
Uh, you know, so obviously we need to do better than that. Um, but I think that just the fact that you know, we just kept getting after it. We just kind of try to stay focused on our demeanor on the court and trying to make plays and be next ball focused. And, you know, we got out of that. And I think after that, we really were able to impose our rhythm and finish the match. So it was good. I mean, there's a lot of things that we learned in this weekend about our team and you know about our staff and our players and how we want to continue to keep growing. And I was really proud of, as painful as it is to go through these moments. I think that they make the journey even more special. You know, so I was really proud of what we did.
And we'll get to Julia. Obviously the superlatives. You think every week there's be something that's been done, but 38 kills in that match. I think tied her career high and then a program high as well.
Yeah.
Double-digit digs. Just what about that performance from her on the offensive end and just defensively with the digs as well? What did that just mean for you? And was that a certain stage of the match where you're just like, give the ball to Julia, let her score as many points as she can. We're gonna really focus the passing to her, but just what about her performance individually and just galvanizing the team and getting them to that victory?
Yeah, no, I think she's done what she has done a few times this year. You know, I think that it's her role. And I think that, you know, when she kind of digs deep and finds just that next gear, she's just really hard to stop, you know. And obviously, I think that we were able to find a weakness on their defense and find what was working. They were really just having a hard time defending Julia and defending Bianca on the left side. And so you know, we started to feed them the ball a little more. And obviously, it led to those numbers, but probably a great game plan in in our vision if it's working, you know. So and from there everybody else started to make plays in other areas. You know, everybody started to contribute. I think that we started to serve better. Middles were touching balls in the block. They were getting cleaner looks at some points. I think you know, Tam stepped up, made some plays. um Paola made some plays. So I mean, I just really think that that opened up um kind of the door to be like, hey, we could do this, you know. And if we dig deep and we really get after it, we're going to make some things happen. And, you know, obviously, I think that Julia was a big ignition to get that going. But everybody kind of followed her, and I was just proud of her, happy for her. I think that she deserved this kind of matches, and she's that type of player. Um, you know, so excited that she was able to go through a moment like that. And you know, we got to continue to be better. Obviously, everybody. But I think that she really, you know, she really showed why she was one of the best players in the country.
Yeah, and she's gonna be one of six seniors honored before the Louisville match. Before we get to the Cardinals and your revenge matchup against them from earlier in the season, what about these six seniors? And I'm not going to get into details as far as who's coming back and not because of the extra academic year and all that stuff. But what about this group and leading the program to such success and dealing with the COVID issues and being right in the middle of that during their tenure there? What about these group of seniors, these six players that have their contributions to the program and on and off the court for you?
Yeah, no, I think that this is a class that we have. You know, we have some players that have been here from day one. There were early recruits for us like Karen and Bree and you know, Julia Kinman in 2019. And you know, just we just have them. You know, a lot of them have been here through the process. Others have, you know, Tally has been here for just this season. Nicole has been here last season. Paola was here too. So I mean, some of them transferred in, others have been here for a long time, but they really have made a big impact in our program and really helped us sustain the things that we were doing and continue to kind of lay the foundation uh, for the future. And just a very important part of what we're doing and great people. So it's been nice to see their growth as people as much as their growth as players. They all play very different roles um, at different times, but they all have been very important to the things that we're doing. So they'll be missed for sure, and we're definitely happy to kind of see what's next for them with their next adventures here. But grateful for everything that they have done for our program.
Yeah, is this a class that you think also really introduced to transfers and you bring people from other programs in? Because it seems like traditionally you've had a lot of players stay to 4, even 5 years, and from freshman year to now. But this class seems like the first one you're really dipped into I would say the transfer portal or what the equivalent would be of that, but bringing other players into the program. Would you agree with that? It's kind of the first class where you start looking around, and your following classes are starting to see that as well, the younger players. But is this class that you really started like we're going to bring in some other players from other programs to bring a different aspect to Georgia Tech?
Yeah, no, I think it was just kind of the way that the whole transfer piece started to evolve with the NCAA and the rules changed and the transfer portal and all that. Obviously, everybody's trying to find a ways to learn from that and figure out what's going to make your program be the best that we can. So we definitely took advantage of those opportunities, and we brought in some great people, and they definitely have made us better and have helped us just move along in the direction that we want to continue to go.
Yeah, and how do you handle the senior day festivities? It brings a lot of people. Obviously, you can have a sold out crowd at O'Keefe, that's a given, but friends and family coming from out of town. You got some international players, probably some coming in from outside the United States. How do you handle that as a coach? I don't say distractions, but the extra attention, extra things that go into your final home match, regular season match of the season.
Yeah, no, it's always an emotional match. I mean, it's hard. You start to reflect back on their careers here and kind of what led them to us, and just the journey that they've been through our program, and the ups and downs and all the things that we've how much they made us better, how much we learned from them, and all these things. So it's always an emotional match that we try to stay grounded as much as possible. We keep the ceremony pretty simple, not because we don't want to celebrate them, but we try to keep it short and sweet for a little bit. We still have, they still have a lot of matches to play and a lot of things to move forward. And then we try to do a bigger recognition celebration during our auction in the spring as well. To just kind of recognize them and continue to appreciate everything that they've done for our program. So, we try different ways. Obviously, I think our biggest thing is for them to feel valued and understand how much they have helped and how much we appreciate everything that they have done for Georgia Tech volleyball, and how much even though they're moving on, we'll always be here. I think cheering them on, hoping for the best, and kind of always being a resource for them as well in the future. So it's always fun. I mean, it's as a coach, these closing moments are always hard, but you try to just see the positive side of it and the happy side of it, and really focus on the good. And a lot of the times, the great thing with the senior nights is that we'll still get a lot more matches to play and move
Yeah,
forward to. So it doesn't really hit you until that last match,
yeah,
and I think that's another thing that kind of helps the situation a little bit too.
yeah, for sure. Now you have Louisville coming into town, top 10 nationally ranked team. You faced them earlier in the season, so you have a direct reference to what you're going to face on the court. They had 3 players in double-digit kills. In the last matchup, hit 29%, held you to 15% with the hitting percentages. What do you remember from that matchup? I'm sure you reviewed it and looked at it. And what can you make improvements on to just face them again on a Friday?
Yeah, no, I mean, Louisville is always a very hard team to play. They always I think put a lot of pressure on us. Have a good strategy. They've won the past few matchups here, and so I think that they have some momentum going for them. But we know that the next one is always the big one, you know, and what you did in the past doesn't really guarantee what's going to happen in the future. So I think that we're focusing on that. We're focusing on being a better team out there, better competitors, understanding that they're going to challenge us. You know, but we're a different team than we were when we played them. Felt like we had our opportunities when we played them. We, you know, didn't execute in some key points there. And against a great team like that, if you miss out on the few opportunities that you have, then you just put yourself in a tough situation. So we know we're going to have them again, and you know, hopefully we'll be better prepared to execute on them and you know, win. So I think that that is our focus. We believe that we can. I think that we're going to be working on to be better. You know, be the best team we can on Friday, better than the last time we played them. But just know that you know they're a great team. They're a great team. They've been a great team for a long time. Great coaching staff. They do a good job preparing against us, and we're going to be up for the challenge.
Our coach, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and good luck
Yeah.
against the Cardinals on Friday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.